in terms of a scrap on track. The sprint race wasn't, of course they have won this year with Jacques.
Since Mark.
Yep. As he strokes his beard. 23, Marquez, when he was third here. Slap. Marc Marquez has a big look behind. He's going to take victory in the race. Stunning, proving that the sprint wasn't a fluke. Marc Marquez, yes, looks like a nation. Has a little bit of a teammate here in Japan. For the comeback slap.
He can't, he's already thinking about it. How impressive.
It's 8 round in the Ducati garage on both sides. Title in his sights. Who's going to spoil the lights go out and we are underway, and it's an excellent start from Pecco by Pace, and he didn't manage yesterday. It's Bagnaia leading.
I asked him yesterday.
Mia trying to fight out of turn 4 for the first time, and down to this. Marquez just had to roll up slightly, didn't he? Because otherwise that's what it's called as they go now up into the S curve. That tyre out. More shapes being pulled by Joan on that to prevent his brother from taking the top that the Ducati was getting on him. Mark not close enough, but making moves forward. Bagnaia, smoke out the back of his bike.
Definitely.
Marc Marquez got down towards.
Look at that, man, the walls.
Yeah, let's hope. On board with Marc Marquez, down towards turn bay, and he's through, up into 4. Behind now, Frankie Morbidelli has a look at Fabio, right through the middle of Fabio Quartararo, and that means Marquez now takes that wounded animal.
Bagnaia just stretching it over the line.
Ralph Fernandez gets
Still
through on
missing
Fabio.
any apexes. It looks fully.
A 1:44.4.
Bagnaia is 0.6 of a second faster than
In the case this weekend, though, it just takes him time to build into it. One more with Bez here.
It's a fair pass, and then
Costa through turn 5. Suspicions that he may fail. On the Aprilia, meanwhile, is looking to go through.
Impressive if Bezzecchi can work his way injured. I mean, it was a big impact by his teammate.
He had a horrible collarbone break. He's seen footage of that crash from Misano at turn 11. Race in front of the home fans here today. He pulled out on board with Bez, crossed the line ahead of him. He could just see still another 2/10 quicker than Mark 3.
He's stretching it. Looks a shame.
It is a shame for Luca, but for Marini today. Still, the battle goes on between the two other.
This is a chance into here, into the V corner. Hey, you know his peripheral vision's limited. He will turn in on you. He's got a bad grip. It's his fair share of warnings as well as Frankie Moore.
A bit of room behind Pedro Costa. Fuel economy. Yeah. All the things that have to come into the equation.
Change the, let's say, the amount of power. A lot going on. There is a lot going on. Around this track is thirsty.
It's the thirsty. Second gear corners. Bagnaia and Marquez stands at 2.1 seconds. Marc Marquez can take this title with his 100th Grand Prix. Here comes Bez finally at turn 7, knowing Frankie.
And this, for example, well, especially if Mark gets second, but brought them the first MotoGP World Champions. Man, they don't want it.
He won for Ducati. Stoner won here, actually.
Great day for Ducati, if you think about it.
At the moment, sort of settled into a first drop.
Yeah, I think you might be right. To on those opening laps, he had nothing really for front tyre pressures. The front, you cannot believe when you go in pit lane and have a look at that disc, and there's nowhere for it to go apart from it just
needs to be 185 or more. But in doing so today, he won't care
when he's an old man, and you're talking about the number of world champions.
Bagnaia, it's so, yeah, that was right there for Marc Marquez.
It was essentially they're panicking. They know they're going to go. You sacrifice all your exit, but that's the
back at him. I wonder if Mir will try and serve back Epic. Yesterday, still went through. Will they go on like this? Marco Bezzecchi.
The season, I don't know about you, Gav, but I was interviews, the way he was talking, we saw some behind. I almost was thinking he's wait.
Just running a little sizable mistake down at turn 5 with Marquez through turn 4.
It doesn't look it on paper because there's a few quite breaking, and that makes it physical because wait as far back as possible to get the only other corners of all these sort of physical.
Since we came here on Friday, 13 on Saturday, and not at turn 5, but it's been hard to get a read on where...
Which is pretty much, I'm going to say, the grippiest track, and you end up in a situation... I saw it yesterday in the braking zones. It looks...
Pedro, again, a touch wider. All the while, is one rider in the 144s.
44-7, 44-7, 44-7. By that is that comfortable, knows he can predict its slide, checking out at the front, and this will be the, well, as he's gone back in really wide again for Mark.
And just suffering a little bit, isn't he? Being in this position, okay, not with a MotoGP one. Your mind on lap 9 of a race like this?
Out the race, as in this race, now don't crash, no point in making a mistake. Earlier, the Ducati's a bit kinder to pass.
Despite that mistake, we're still...
It's got more pace, I wouldn't say much more pace. Comfortable was the second half of the sprint race this weekend.
Yeah.
And the garage as well, there's normally quite a calm individual in there for him. Memories of anyway, that's the corner where he keeps going on. Yeah, because essentially he squares the corner off, so he's able to pass.
Yeah.
Well, Mark said after the sprint, Pedro and Joan Mir are both really one, in fact. He's got good drive.
Turn on the
right here. I mean, that's just...
Chuffed it out, didn't he? He's squirted it back, or hook it up, get past the Costa, worked his way around it, but the gap...
Like, so much more pace. Just a couple of lap times on. That, as in, I don't think Mark's going to maximum risk. Bezzecchi's the one. He's sort of faster on the last lap than Pedro Acosta.
There's never really... The DNA of that bike is changing. Yeah, to Marc Marquez. Now he's got a lap. Gauntlet is at Marquez's feet. Huge gap to your teammate, who loves to manage a gap.
At this point, you're keeping your eye on your pit board. So what does that mean? What does that change? I'll tell you what it changes. It screws a little bit. You don't want to buy a really important couple of laps in the race, this. Absolute machine. I'm so pleased at it.
3/10 on that previous lap. Turn 11. As you saw, for Bezzecchi to come into the home straight. First time, I think, in this race, Mark.
So what's the difference?
200 to Bezzecchi.
Yeah, exactly. To get any inspiration, I'm going to keep my eye on that gap. Talk about being in the doldrums.
Well, he's made it through
the 2020 MotoGP times. It's just an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, in 22, Suzuki decided to quit. And it's good behind him.
Yeah, he got pulled in, got sucked in.
It'll be 13 down now when they complete this one. Lap Grand Prix of Japan. We could with Pecco Bagnaia. Two late breakers. Get out. If he doesn't, Bezzecchi will be on him. Turn 3. All sorts going on with that.
In Misano.
Grip as well.
Heat trap times this weekend. Yeah. Honda's at the top.
Well, that's a nice little move, isn't it? That's good, right.
Sees Joan Mir walking around the paddock the last couple of seasons. Man who's always been a really polite young man. And in just as hard, you're putting in the feel-good moments, just despair. That's what Mir's managed to do.
And Mir could have a home podium for him. Another puff. Have you known if that's part of
tell you what,
it's more?
It can't happen. This can't. What? No.
Something. Is it out the exhaust?
I've just put back a lavatory for a bit of technical, but it looks like.
Obvious about this.
That's a move. Nicely there. It's like, look, you don't want to give way, so I'm going to just... It's nice to see the Honda, because the character...
144.9. Put their pace as well. Still more smoke coming out the back of his bike. Improved a little bit, or is it just Mir? Costa's dropping back. 0.999. That's a
fair bit of smoke. There's a go. So,
you know, Rossi's bike expired once. Was it in that battle with Gibb Mark the title, was it? When looks like being number 4, equaling his big ride. I think we're on board with Pedro Acosta looking.
Mir was 0.3 faster than Mark.
Strange race.
Strange weekend. Yeah, it won. Got it stopped.
He sent a telegraph
to react.
As Acosta drops backwards, Alex Marquez.
The power, just to give a little bit less.
Comes up, Marc Marquez. So that's just something else for you to contend with. Designed with the Daruma doll, the Jepang.
You like that helmet, don't you?
Absolutely, and well, just little Weevil gets knocked down and it gets back up again 7 times, get up 8, and if that doesn't embody my...
Get back 700 and...
30 races, 30 Grand Prix through in 30 races anyway, yeah. Fifth Acosta there in 6th at last lap. By himself.
At all. When you look at the season he's put together, it's been fantastic, didn't they, really, with the Pramac squad.
There was a talk from the VR4, Pablo Nieto, that was the comments he gave.
Right.
And they were offering it Frankie Morbidelli.
Off the track! How in concentration? Just then, you can't, obviously you can't trail break into the...
Pedro Acosta didn't deserve that, but completely blew turn 1. He had...
It's,
prayers going out, aiming 5.5 laps of this race. If his bike were to expire, well, huge. You know, this is where a meatball flag comes out.
In worse, you would have to say that. And then it's like, well, hang on a minute, I've gone down on something that's...
I suspect they're also a bit like, well, Mark Marquez is behind. Oh, we've got all... Yeah. So, through turn 7, up the hill. Michael,
I've spoken to Michael, who sat next to me. He said there's an external.
Good for the meatball, but good for the stewards, you say.
Yeah. That's the sort of, you know, technical...
Not a steward decision, would it? That'd be a Mike Webb decision. Mike was the Kiwi, who is the race director.
Just saying that it's not leaking, it's burned, but it's not in danger.
Crashed out of a point in 50. There's nothing he can do.
That could go down as...
On that last lap.
Absolutely, yeah.
Towards the V, but we keep saying that he desperately wants to win. He does, of course he was missing. But when he's in a racket, as he will, around this band, not care a job. I still think,
His mind is, I've got a job on. We're going to, don't know if he's finished a Grand Prix round there, and he's had a...
Gain more down to 2.3 seconds. It really would sum up Banyaya's season if his team...
Well, that's essentially what happened there.
Now Strike Miller,
chain off.
KTM had 3 times back in Mazar. Height devices,
yeah, lots of gear
devices.
shift squad, losing out on the World Championship hours. Just a small...
I can't believe how much never finished in Indonesia. You are right. Because today...
What will be nice, and I had next door, of course we know there's going to be... Yaya will be sat on his side of the garage. He knows from this moment on, he's got it, he's found it.
It's good for us as well, isn't it? As top bike, look like they're going to be able, in terms of a scrap on track. The sprint race wasn't... Of course, they have won this year with Jacques.
Since Mark.
Yep. As he strokes his beard. 23, Marquez winning his 3rd here. Lap. Marc Marquez has a big look behind. He's going to take victory in the race. Stunning, proving that the sprint wasn't a fluke. Marc Marquez, yes, looks like a nation. Has a little bit of a teammate here in Japan. For the comeback slap.
He can't, he's already thinking about it. How impressive.
For the first time, but I'm sure they're pouring down his face. In a fair fight this season, of course, Mark crashed out. Spare, broken bones, broken for Honda. An amazing out of the garage, also able to celebrate. All of it worth it. Brother there to welcome him home. He's history beckoned for our world champion. Is Marc Marquez.
What a comeback. 9 world. He's going to start 6th season in Indonesia.